Hey there, welcome to Bruxer TV. I'm James Foster. Let's get right into it. Randy Couture is the furthest thing from Captain America, is what Dana White was saying on Twitter today. On top of that, Dana White said he'll be happy to never see Randy Couture again. Unfortunately, he'll still be all over the TV, so he'll still see him, but he has no desire to see the man in person at all. This is in regards to the news that Couture is now going to be on Bellator's reality show as a coach. And you gotta kind of assume that the animosity between Dana White and Randy stems back a few years from the lawsuit that happened when Couture was leaving the UFC and airing some of the dirty laundry between the two of them. Next up, Chris Cyborg Santos is making a ruckus today, talking about how she went on Instagram to say that she's not afraid of Ronda Rousey one bit. She says, "I will fight her anywhere, anytime for free." Although she then goes on to say that she barely makes 145 pounds and that Dana White would be asking her to fight with both hands tied behind her back or comatose to get down to the 135-pound range. See, she says that she wants to split the difference and fight Ronda at the 140-pound range. The problem with all of that is the UFC still has no 140 or 145 pound weight division for women. Cyborg just seems that she can't get it through her head that it's 135 or nothing. She either needs to break it down, get down to the 135 level, or shut it. Basically, I mean that's just what it comes down to. She ended by saying that she's the real champion and she can absolutely kick Ronda Rousey's ass, and that bitch should step up. Again, it's easy to say that kind of stuff when there's no weight class for it. She has to go down to the 135-pound mark, or there's nothing really to even discuss further on Cyborg's behalf. So her and Tito need to make that decision that if she's going to get down to that weight or not. Next up, Dana White seems to really be trying to get rid of Steve Mezzagatti as a referee. He was saying earlier today, "I can tell you this, if I was a fighter, the last thing I would want to see when I got in that cage was Mezzagatti." This is in reference to last week's fight between Dodson and Johnson, and that Dana White felt that Mezzagatti absolutely did a horrible job refereeing, and this isn't the first time that's happened. Weeks prior, there's also been a lot of contention about Mezzagatti and his refereeing, calling fights too late, saying that they should have been stopped sooner for the safety of the fighters. And now with this, Dana White tends to be out for blood for him. So he's trying to convince essentially other fighters to not want to have Mezzagatti as the referee, because that is in their contract that fighters can say, "No, I don't want so and so refereeing this." Happened with Brock Lesnar, got Mezzagatti out of the fight. So Dana White wants the other fighters to do that and essentially run Mezzagatti right out of fighting. If no one wants you to ref, there's not a whole lot you can do about it. So we'll see what happens with that. Last but not least, what does Dan Henderson have to say about not being the headliner on the Ronda Rousey bout coming up at the Ronda Rousey UFC event coming up at the end of February? He's fine with it, actually. It's actually his striking coach, Gus, who has a very big issue with it. Gus was saying that Ronda hasn't earned it, and that the Henderson Lyoto Machida fight should get the top billing. But Henderson says it makes sense. His isn't a 5-round fight. It's not for a title, whereas the Ronda Rousey fight is. Got to agree with him. Dan Henderson's being a stand-up guy, not trying to take credit. I think Gus is just trying to get a little exposure for himself as a striking coach, but that's just my opinion. Alright, this is Bruxer TV, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.